Hi friends, welcome to WebChamp. In this video, I am going to give you the introduction about Power BI service. Okay, so it is a part of the Power BI suite. So Power BI has various components such as Power BI desktop, then Power BI service, then Power BI mobile, and then there are few more are there. Okay, but these three are more important. Okay, so out of these, what is Power BI service is something we are going to understand. So now, so Power BI service is a cloud-based business intelligence platform which is developed by Microsoft, but this is not free. Okay, so if you download the Power BI desktop, that is freely available. Power BI desktop is freely available, but Power BI service is not freely available. It is subscription based service. So obviously this is cloud based service. So you need to pay for the Power BI service. Okay. Then there are various types of plans. For trial purpose, there is free plan. And for the organization, they have pro and premium plans. Okay. It depends upon the size and organization needs. They will deal, and even the price can be vary. Okay, but yes, individual persons can also purchase these plans. So now what and all features that Power BI service gives. Okay, so since it is a cloud based platform, which is hosted on the Microsoft Azure cloud. Okay. And users can access their reports and dashboards from anywhere with an internet connections. But yes, before that, obviously you need to give the access to that person. Okay, so anyone from your organization who they may sit in different countries, it is possible to access the reports from Power BI service. Okay, that's what the actually uh, benefit of cloud based service. It can be accessible from anywhere. This enables collaboration and sharing of reports with the colleagues and stakeholders. You simply need to give the access. Okay, the way we can connect with the different data sources from Power BI desktop. Similarly, we can connect with the various data sources from Power BI service also, including we can say the databases, different there are many databases. Okay, even different types of databases are there. So we can connect with the databases, then cloud services. Then if you want to connect with the spreadsheets, you can. Even if you want to connect with the on-premises data meaning the data which is sitting on your computer, that is not hosted somewhere, not stored either in database, not stored either in cloud and all, but yet still you will be able to access your computer's database from Power BI service. Data transformations, Power BI service, you can shape your data using the Power Query editor, and which allows for data cleaning, data transformations, and modeling. Now, next feature is report authoring. So you can create the reports and dashboards using drag and drop interface, the way we can create the reports in Power BI desktop. Similarly, on service also, you will have the same kinds of options. Simply you have to drag the fields of table on the visuals, and Power BI will build the visuals for you. Okay. So even on service also, it offers the range of visualizations, charts, table, maps, custom visualizations, that kind of visualization you can use. Then there is something called Q&A, because Q&A stands for questions and answering. Power BI uses natural language processing and machine learning. So NLP and ML algorithms it uses to understand what peoples are trying to say, and based on the question, Power BI is able to return us or generate the system based visuals for your questions. Okay, this feature is also available on Power BI service. Even you can see this feature is also available on desktop also. But even though if you publish that report on the service, still it will work. Okay. Sharing and collaborations. So what are the reports you created in the service? When if you publish any reports on the service from desktop, so that can be shared with the others in your organizations. Even the reports which are published on the service, their visuals can be embedded into the websites and any other applications, or even it can be shared with the specific user or group of users. So these kinds of features are there. Obviously, when sharing comes in a picture, security matters. So security and governance is also offered by the Power BI service, which allows you to control the access to the data and reports. So you can use a feature called role level security, and you can define what kind of data, what data should be visible to that specific person, or to the group of that person. Okay, so you can create group and add the many people to that group, and the persons from that group will be able to view the specific data only, not all the data of your report. So it integrates with Azure Active Directory for user authentication and authorizations. Okay, the next feature is, even if you want to send the visuals to someone after the refresh of data, or if you want to send any kind of notification if your data set gets failed while refreshing, so you are supposed to intimate someone, right? So that kind of notifications, you can alerts you can create, and you can send the email notifications to that specific person. Even you can specify to whom it should go. Whatever will be the changes happen in the data as per the your alert and notification, whatever you have created, it will perform. Then AI and machine learning, obviously, Azure machine learning, Power BI can be integrated with the Azure machine learning and AI, meaning it supports the custom AI visuals. Okay, enabling advanced analytics and predictive modeling within your report. So you can select the data sets, and AI will be able to create the reports, dashboards on your data sets. So that kind of features is also available on service. Once your data got published, obviously, if you share the report with someone and that person may wants to view the data from his mobile, he will be able to. So there is something called a Power BI mobile app. So you can use the apps on iOS and Android device, and it allows user to access and report interactive reports and dashboards with the smartphone and tablets. Okay, then Power Automate is something like data flow. You can create the cloud flow automations, and that kind of meaning that tool, that is a separate tool, but yes, we can integrate that tool with Power BI. Then usage matrix. So Power BI service provide user features which reports are used, even how they are used. So that kind of analysis we can do, whether there are users, meaning the peoples are using any report or not. So that kind of things you can simply track. So usage matrix, it provides usage matrix and insights for each of the reports, even how they are used, and even if you want to optimize their content accordingly. Okay. So these kinds of features Power BI service provide. Now, how to go to the Power BI service, where to see? If this kind of question is there in your mind, obviously, if the cloud service is there, you need not to do any kind of installation on your system. You just have to open the browser and simply type apps.powerbi.com. This URL you need. If you type this URL in your browser, you will be redirected to the page that you can see on the screen. And here you have various options, right? So if you come to the home, so here you just see some most favorable reports which you opened, or that might be shared with you from any other person from your organization. Okay, if you want to create the new reports, here is a button they have provided. You can click on this, you can select the data sets, and you can start building the reports, right? Then here few recent reports you will be able to see. Okay, list of few reports, not all. Then if I go to the create, okay, here you will see the various kinds of options. So if you want to enter the data, you can create the table by entering the data manually. Even if you want to pick the published data sets, you can. Okay, then there is something called lake house. So this is what the data lake, store big data for cleaning, querying, and reporting. So this kind of features you can use. Even you can create your own warehouse and store the data and work with that data. You can create the data on that. Okay, then there is something called a notebook preview. Okay, so machine learning solutions with Apache Spark applications you can use on the service. Okay, so if you are familiar with the Apache Spark applications, that is a big data applications, so you can use that. Okay, so these two are again cloud-based services. So that kind of features are available on the service. We can use to store our data, create the batch processing and all, and store the data somewhere in the lake house, and then lake house or warehouse, and then we can use that data into the our reports. Okay, then there is something called browse. Here you will see the list of your reports and data sets that is either shared with you. Then if you want to go for the shared with me, okay, so these kinds of reports are there. It will show all, okay, the way we were seeing, but here we will see all, and simply you can type the name of report or data sets. Okay, here as such, in case of recent, we can see the data sets. Okay, so let me type the any name as such. Okay, so if I say demo, so you will be able to see the reports here. Okay, then there is one lake data hub. If you go to this, you will see the list of data sets that is either owned by you, or that the data sets may be shared by someone with you. It is fine. So like this it is going to work. So here nobody has shared with me. So I published all those data sets on the service, so it is fine. If you want to see your my data, so you can go to the my data. If you go to the all, it will show you your own data sets and the data sets which is shared with you. Even here you will be able to see that lake house data sets, lake house, what kind of data, or how it is, uh, like data set is something that we published, but SQL endpoint. So these are the kinds of data sets are there. Okay, so these lake house, warehouse, SQL endpoint is something like, what if you have a data which is stored in the lake house, and then it will create, meaning the Azure will create the SQL endpoint so that that data set can be accessed as a SQL server. Even from the desktop also you will be able to access. So that kind of features are also available here. I will discuss all those points in my further series. Then there is something called workspace. Workspace is nothing but folders on the service. Even you may create the folders on Google Drive, OneDrive. Okay, so that is what the workspace. There we referred as a folder, but here in case of Power BI service, we referred as an workspaces. Workspaces are the containers for the reports. If I go to the demo, here you can see there are report and data sets, report and data sets. Okay, these kinds of features are there. Now finance. Okay, so this is another workspace. Even if you want to give the access to the workspace, okay, once you select the workspace, here is manage access option, and you can add the people from your group to access this workspace, so they will be able to access this workspace. But let's say if you want to give the access to the specific report, click on this three dots, or we can see the more option button, and go to the manage permissions. Okay, and okay, so direct access. If you go to the direct access, you can add user for these reports only, meaning the specific reports access you can give this way. If you want to give the all report access to that person, you can add that access or access to the workspace level here from manage access. But for a specific report, if you want to give, you can go and simply say manage permissions. So you will be able to do that. Okay, so this is how the accesses can be managed. Now there is something called, okay, apps. So you can create the apps, or what we can say, that you can go for the already built templates. Okay, so if I go to the Get app, okay, so here you will see the list of applications which are built. You can use the ready-made templates and then customize as you want. But let's say if I don't want to go and I have to create the application which shows the data from various reports, so that is also possible. So there are many features configured in case of app. Even if you go to the workspace, and if I come here to the demo, okay, and let's say if I go here and if I say create app, so it will create the app. Okay, so we will discuss how to create app and all in another video. Okay, so here whatever the workspace you have opened, on the below of that you will be able to see that workspace name. Then here also you have some options to create the deployment pipeline and monitoring hub, metrics, okay, learn and all. So like this we have the options on Power BI service. Okay, even there are many ways to do. If you want to make the changes with respect to workspaces and its permissions. So you can go to the workspace space. Then on top of this, not either in on any of the page, we can say. So this is what the navigation bar of Power BI service. So here, if you click on this, so you will be able to open the different types of applications to work. Okay, even there is something called a Power Automate. There is something called a Power Apps. So these are the applications are there. Then something called SharePoint. So like this OneDrive we can use. Okay, there are many applications. Even explore all of. So if you go, you will see all the list of applications. Okay, that is fine. You will see your login credentials here. This is what the email address. Then what type of license you have. So it says the pro type license I have. If you don't have pro, you will not be able to access anything from the service. So at least pro access you required. Okay. With free license, you will not be able to access the Power BI service features, so like workspaces and all. But then if you want to download the Power BI desktop, gateway, paginated report, Power BI for mobile, even analyzing Excel updates. Okay, so Power BI for PowerPoint. So these are the tools. If you click on any of these, so the desktop version will be downloaded for you. Now, how to publish the reports on service? Okay, if I go to my workspace, there are many, but here I don't have something called sales. Okay, so I will publish. So let's say you may have created the report in Power BI desktop. So this is what the desktop tool you can see on my screen. And if whatever the credentials you have connected, you may have access to this workspace and all. Okay, meaning the Power BI service. If you have access, you can use these credentials to log in on your Power BI desktop. Until and unless you log in to the Power BI desktop with the same email address, that is what used in your Power BI service, you will not be able to publish. Okay, based on your login, it will fetch the details about the workspaces. Okay, but now question is how to publish. Okay, if you go to the home tab, okay, there is something called a publish button. So if you click on this, you will be able to publish this report, meaning publishing the report on service. Okay, if I select, so these are the workspaces, my workspaces, admin monitoring, batch to demo. Okay, demo, finance, test, web champ. So these are the workspaces that I have created on the service. So let's say I wanted to, what you need to do is you need to select the specific workspace and let's say okay. It will start publishing, meaning whatever the reports you have created on the desktop, it will be pushed on the Power BI cloud. Okay. And the moment you get this access success, even earlier we have seen here, we don't have anything called sales report. So now you will see that report. Once you publish the report, so it will create two types. One is for data set, one is for reports. So in case of data sets, you will be able to work with the data. You can use the data set to create the new reports and all. But if you go to the reports, even I published what? Okay, let me go back. I selected the another one. That is what I don't want. So I should go to the this one. Okay, so there is something called sales report. Okay, and if I go to this sales report. This is what I published. Okay, if you see the data set published is here, today's date. Even one more was there on my demo. Earlier I was in another data set. Okay, so let's say if I select this sales report, so whatever the report we have on the desktop, same will be published on the cloud, and you can see the same kind of visuals here, the same kind of visual. This is what the table, these are the charts and all, everything which was created. Now if you want to make the changes to this report, what you can do, you can go for edit button. Here you will be able to make the changes to the visualizations. You can change the visualizations. Let's say I don't want this. Okay, even we have created. Okay, so here if I say I would like to, instead of this, I would like to use the this kind of chart or this kind of chart. None of the chart is good. Okay, one line chart is better. Okay, let's skip, because the data, what kind of data we are publishing here is like time series data, so line chart is always better for that. Okay, so like this we can make the changes. Once you are done with this, you need to save that changes from here. So here also you have lots of options, but we will discuss that part also. Okay, now if you want to download this report on your service, so not from here, but if you go to the data, okay, sales report final, even if I close this, if I go to the demo workspace and if I reopen any report, okay, that is fine. Okay, so now if I go and if I simply say download this file, so this will download the file which we have on our desktop. So you can download the PBIX file, Power BI desktop file. You can edit the reports, and if you want to see the tables which are used, any specific table, if you want to view any specific table data on the service, what you can do, you can go and select the table. So if I say no table, it will not show any table in the visual, but if you select the fact sales table you would like to show, so at the bottom, okay, it will add automatically one table. So this is how it's going to work. And I will not save. Okay, so this way we can use the service, Power BI service, to do various things. Even this is what the layout of Power BI service. We can connect with these data sources. We can publish the report. So publishing report is something what we have seen. Then Power BI gateway is something that if your data sets are sitting on your local computer, obviously our reports, the reports which are published on service, they are sitting on some another machine, and here our data set is somewhere on our local machine. So to make the connection between these two data set, meaning the Power BI service and your computer, so there is something called Power BI gateway. This is just used to access your on-premises data from the service. Okay, then once the reports are published or created on the service, that can be accessed, who has access. So this is how Power BI service works, and that's it. Okay, I hope you like the content of this video. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day. Please do not forget to subscribe web